Good morning from Moulin Nose. This week, a breaking story about very short duration signals coming from deep space has raised the question of whether it's from an alien civilization. This has happened before, and there's one question which we need to ask, which will solve this mystery. Let's have a look. In the 400 years since Galileo first held a telescope to the heavens, astronomers have laid bare some of the deepest mysteries of the cosmos. They have seen comets crash into planets, found oceans inside moons, and witnessed the shudder of space-time as black holes collide. But space remains a realm of the unknown. This week, scientists in Canada reported the detection of a mysterious radio signal from halfway across the universe. They named it a fast radio burst, or FRB. Astronomers have yet to formulate a full theory of what produces these enigmatic rapid-fire beams of electromagnetic waves. And in the absence of a firm explanation, speculation has fallen inevitably on aliens. Chris French from Goldsmiths University in London said, "It is natural for humans to see aliens behind every cosmic mystery. We have what's called an intentional basis. It's the assumption that whenever something happens, something or someone made it happen for a reason." In the context of space, that someone is always going to be the aliens. Now, space is a big place, and I personally believe that we are not alone. The sheer probability of other alien life forms existing out there in the cosmos is infinitely possible. Personally, I don't believe they fly around in aluminium spaceships and have pointy heads and come to Earth. I think it's much more likely that they look like squids. But back to the short radio bursts. This is not the first time that a poorly understood cosmic phenomenon has been ascribed to industrious extraterrestrials. Let's look at the story of pulsars.
One of the most significant discoveries was made in the late 60s by an extremely determined young woman, embarking on a career in the field of radio astronomy.
The new instrument was perhaps the least glamorous telescope ever built, and it was to be operated full-time by one person, a girl.
Belle Burnell was in charge of searching for tiny bright objects far out in the cosmos.
We were actually using this telescope to look for quasars because they twinkle, and this thing's specially designed to pick out twinkling things. And after we'd been running, I suppose about a few months, I began to notice there was something slightly curious on the records. They came out as paper charts. And of course on these charts you could see radio sources, and unfortunately you could also see man-made interference. But there was also something that didn't quite fit either bill. It wasn't exactly a twinkling radio source, and it wasn't exactly interference either. Everybody's first reactions were that it must be man-made.
Including Belle Burnell's supervisor, Anthony Hewish, who was convinced there had to be a terrestrial explanation for the anomaly on the paper chart.
We wrote round to all the astronomical observatories in sort of Britain saying, have you had any program going which might possibly cause radio interference?
but the observatories wrote back with the all clear. Belle Burnell enlisted the help of another radio telescope to prove to all her doubters that the signal was in fact coming from the cosmos. She finally convinced Hewish that this was something to pay attention to. Hewish ruled out the possibility that it was coming from an object because it pulsed too regularly and quickly for any known star or galaxy, which led them to consider another explanation.
Second reactions, not really voiced very loud, were, well, perhaps it's little green men.
While the leaders of the radio astronomy group started considering their response to alien communication, Belle Burnell remained unconvinced and returned to her telescope.
I thought, I'm not going to bed tonight, I'm going out to the observatory. And I switched on the high-speed recorder and it came blip, 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 blip. Clearly the same family, the same sort of stuff. And that was great. That was really sweet.
Now, the people here say that if they got 3 signals as exactly spaced as that, it would be very unusual. If they got 4, it would be phenomenal. Well, they've had pulses as exactly spaced as that 24 hours of the day since November.
So Courbet the goat and I have come to this conclusion. If you find one signal, it might be aliens. But if you find the signal all over the sky, it's a natural phenomenon. The truth is out there. Is that right? Yeah.